Hey everybody, this is Tom Williams. If you plan on building your own glamping business, in this video I'm going to talk about 3 things that you need to consider before you get started. Guys, this is actually kind of funny. I'm trying to do a video, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how I'm going to stop recording there because I've got a bee that keeps walking over the button. All right, the first consideration is going to be the orientation of the structure that you build. For us, we knew that we were building this, prioritizing it for glamping, for providing the best view. So the best view for us is basically kind of facing southwest. So that's the way we have the direction of our bay window, so guests have that view. But it is not good as far as keeping the temperature, trying to keep it cool inside the dome. The bay window gets hammered with sun pretty much all day long since a good portion of it's facing south. But that was one of the sacrifices that we made to make sure that our guests had the best view. So that's the recommendation I would have for you guys. You could prioritize, if you want to, the efficiency of climate control inside your structure. To me, we went ahead and, I think for attracting more guests, getting the view right is the best thing. All right guys, the second thing, in my opinion, that you need to prioritize before you start building anything is having a shelter, okay? You're out in the elements all day long, so making sure that you have a shelter where you can work in a shaded area is extremely important. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, after you have your shelter, the second thing I recommend that you build is your structure. And now this could be located inside your main dome, but if it's not, having a shower and kitchen area. Making sure that it's going to kind of slow you down getting started. And when you're starting a glamping business yourself, you're excited to just go ahead and build what's going to make you money, getting the main structure done itself. But it's going to really help you out throughout your build if you go ahead and you get your shelter for shade for working first, and then get something built to help you. And it may not be permanent that's going to be used for the guests, but getting you something built that'll allow you to cook and clean, shower, things like that while you're out at your site. That's going to be really important. All right, guys, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the materials that you choose to use. So there's so many different options out there. One thing I would recommend that you use, if you need, cement is extremely heavy, and it's not the only option. And that's kind of why I wanted to point this out. What we did, so we weren't having to haul really heavy cement out here and then having to fool with moving it around and then mixing it up and all of that. The easiest thing you can do is get a product called Fast 2K. There's other brands as well. We went with Fast 2K, it works really good. You can basically just buy cases of it, and it's a pouch. It has a divider in the center. You just take that divider out, you mix both halves, and then you just, after you dig your post holes, you just pour in the Fast 2K and pour the product in there, and then it just fills up with a foam and solidifies. It may seem lightweight, but it is not. I can assure you it is very sturdy. This same application is used for setting telephone poles as well. So if it can structurally hold a telephone pole, I can assure anything that you need to set in the ground, it'll work as well. So that was a huge one for us, is not having to deal with all that weight. Just because we use the Fast 2K on this build, that doesn't mean every time we dig a post hole, whenever we continue with our next builds, that we're going to do the same thing. So part of this for me is learning as well. And so on our next build, you may see us do something different and not use the Fast 2K. Certainly I'm sure we'll be using it for some of our construction, but not for all of it. We are actually going to use some cement for some of the things, but it certainly saved us time and effort on this build. And our first one too, we used the Fast 2K on the first build. All right, everybody, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to click and check out our next video. Take care.